Today, we're diving into a topic that many iPhone users are concerned about: the sudden drop in battery life after updating to iOS 18. If you've recently noticed that your iPhone isn't lasting as long as it used to, don't panic. You're not alone, and there are some logical explanations along with a few solutions that can help. First off, if you've enrolled in the iOS 18 beta program, battery drain is, unfortunately, a common issue. Beta software is essentially a testing ground for new features, and while it's great for early access to upcoming tools, it's not always optimized for performance. In fact, Vic from Phone Arena has been testing the iPhone 16 Pro Max running the iOS 18.1 beta and has experienced a significant drop in battery life. He's mentioned how his iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is also running iOS 18.1 Beta 5, saw its battery life take a massive hit. Now, why is this happening? Beta versions of software are still being refined, which means they can be resource hungry. The system might not be as efficient as the stable release, resulting in faster battery drain. However, there is a silver lining. You get to test out features like Apple Intelligence, which might not yet be available in the stable version. But if battery life is a concern for you, you may want to consider leaving the beta program and reverting to the stable version of iOS 18. But what if you're not in the beta program and still experiencing battery issues after updating to iOS 18? According to Apple, this is perfectly normal, at least for the first few days after the update. When you install a new version of iOS, the system continues to run certain background tasks to optimize performance. This process can drain your battery faster than usual and should settle down after a few days. Apple's support page suggests waiting it out, so if you've updated to iOS 18 and find yourself needing to charge your phone earlier in the day, give it a bit of time. It's quite possible that your battery life will return to normal once these background tasks are completed. For those of you who are a little more impatient, or if you rely heavily on your iPhone throughout the day, you might be wondering if there's anything you can do right now to extend your battery life. And yes, there is. One of the easiest and most effective methods is enabling low power mode. This feature is designed to reduce background activity such as downloads and mail fetch, which can significantly save your battery life. Here's how you can do it. Go to Settings, tap on Battery, toggle low power mode on. Once you turn on low power mode, your iPhone will automatically reduce some visual effects, and even Hey Siri will be disabled to save battery. It's a quick and easy fix that can help you get through the day without having to carry around a charger. If you ever want to turn off low power mode, you can easily switch it off by following the same steps in the settings menu. Now, some of you might be considering purchasing a power bank to get through this temporary battery drain. If you're in the iOS 18 beta program and plan to stick with it, picking up a power bank, especially one of those convenient magnetic models that attach to the back of your iPhone, might be a good investment. However, if you're on the stable iOS 18 release, spending money on a power bank could be unnecessary. As mentioned earlier, your battery life should improve after a few days once the system completes its background tasks. So while it's tempting to rush out and buy an external battery pack, you might want to hold off for a bit to see if things stabilize on their own. In addition to turning on low power mode, there are a few other things you can do to help preserve your iPhone's battery life during this period. These small changes might seem simple, but they can collectively have a noticeable impact on your battery life while you wait for things to settle down after the iOS update. So there you have it. Whether you're in the iOS 18 beta program or have just updated to the stable release, a drop in battery life is often temporary. You can use low power mode and make a few other tweaks to get more life out of your iPhone in the meantime. If you're experiencing a big battery hit, especially after installing a new update, try be patient. Things should improve in a few days. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more iPhone tips and updates. iPhone 16 Pro Max will succeed the iPhone 15 Pro Max and take on the mantle as the best and most advanced iPhone out there. Although there's plenty of time until September and a lot can change, we seem to know a lot about the upcoming top iPhone model based on rumors and leaks. How is the iPhone 16 Pro Max shaping up against its predecessor? What's changing and what's staying the same? Let's see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max shapes up against the current best iPhone Apple has in its roster. First up, let's talk about design and size. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will inherit the same design language as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, employing the same titanium frame with a completely flat screen. The major difference between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be size. The upcoming iPhone screen will grow to 6.9 inches across, a significant bump over the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 6.7-inch display. To achieve this, they're likely shrinking the bezels down even further and making the phone itself slightly larger overall. As per the rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will measure 163mm in height and 77.58mm in width versus 159.9mm and 76.7mm for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, respectively. A small but notable change, all things considered. The iPhone 15 Pro Max debuted with an action button instead of a mute switch and a USB Type-C port at the bottom, so those two features will be carrying over to the newer model as well. However, the iPhone 16 series will be scoring another button, dubbed the Capture button. Colors-wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available in 4 understated and titanium-inspired colors. We've heard that Apple might use another titanium processing technique that will make the iPhone 16 Pro Max glossier and also more capable of retaining colors. Moving on to display differences. As mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come along with a significantly larger display, measuring at 6.9 inches across. Aside from the size, we don't clearly expect any other major changes. We're certainly getting a liquid Retina XDR display with an OLED panel delivering superb colors, contrast, and exceptional maximum brightness. The screen will support 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, making scrolling through the interface and on-screen content way smoother. Now let's delve into performance and software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will feature a second-generation 3nm chip, possibly dubbed Apple A18 Pro. As one can imagine, we expect that the Apple A18 Pro will have better performance than the Apple A17 Pro. Due to the heavily rumored focus on AI for both iOS and the iPhone 16 range, we expect that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come with a much improved neural engine to take care of all the generative AI features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be a first to debut iOS 18 with a focus on artificial intelligence features. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max will also support faster Wi-Fi 7 and a more power-efficient 5G modem, keeping you future-proofed on the connectivity front. Let's talk about the camera. As the iPhone 15 Pro Max delivers a host of important camera features, chief among which is the new 120mm telephoto lens, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could finally address one of the forgotten cameras that hasn't recently scored any significant overhauls, the ultra-wide. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that Apple will be introducing a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When it comes to audio quality, iPhone Pro Max devices are always up there with the best, setting the benchmarks for all other manufacturers to measure up against. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will be no exception. The same generally applies to haptics too. iPhones are arguably the best devices when it comes to haptic feedback, giving us precise and accurate vibrations that are sufficiently strong yet not overpowering. Lastly, battery life and charging. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly feature a much larger 4,676 mAh battery compared to the 4,422 mAh battery in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Charging-wise, we haven't heard anything about a potential charging speed increase, but we hope to see one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So far, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is shaping up to be a logical improvement to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, delivering key upgrades in important areas like screen size, performance, AI, and battery life. Thus far, we haven't heard anything particular about a potential price increase, so it's safe to assume that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will start at $1,199 for the 256GB version. Of course, if there's an iPhone 15 Pro Max in your pocket, then you'll probably have few reasons to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Stay tuned for more updates on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as we get closer to its release date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching. Until next time.